The second off-season kicks off with us signing Kevin Garnett as our assistant coach. We also got a new scout and tried to retain as much of our current players as we could. Notably, Aflalo accepted his player option to stay with us one more year. Harris and Vucevic were both restricted free agents and we decided to keep them long term, offering both 5-year deals as well as keeping Deron Lamb on the bench with a 3-year contract. Looking at the draft, we had the 9th pick and were targeting Doug Turner as we didn't have too many big men on the roster. Turner was drafted before we had a chance to grab him, but surprisingly 2 of the best players in the draft were still on board when they got this offer from the Grizzlies. Losing the first rounder next year is not a big deal if we can make the playoffs. Our choice was between Joseph Kerr and Rex Gadson. We took Gadson as the scout suggested he would be a better player defensively and also a tiny bit taller. Gadson turned out to be the best player in the draft and we made out like bandits getting him with the 7th pick. Harris, Vucevic and Lamb accepted the offers we gave them to start off the free agency frenzy. There were a ton of good players available. Our self-imposed rule of not getting the top talent meant that we would skip on the best players. We could however use a big man and a 25-year-old Anthony Randolph seemed like a good match. Rex Gadson was an amazing pick, talented in every aspect of the game save for his jump shot, which is still a bit of a work in progress. However, we still didn't have a starting point guard. I tried finding one by trade, but for some reason the game was overvaluing every point guard and not respecting the talent of our guys, so I had to break the rule of only doing 1-for-1 player trades. Being careful not to rip off the AI, we sent Gadson and Terrence Williams over to the Jazz for Trey Burke. Gadson is not only the best player in this deal, but also this trade was the perfect fit for the Jazz, who already had a better starting point guard in Isaiah Thomas, and Gadson is now rating-wise their best player. Oladipo got injured at the start of the season and was absent in this game against the 76ers. Their rebuild looks to be in good shape. Michael Carter-Williams is an impressive player at this point, as is their drafted small forward Wise, and they also signed Kobe in the offseason. If you follow this channel closely, you know that I have somewhat of a beef with how MyCareer is being handled in this game. Some time back I made a video of listing the biggest issues I have with the game mode. Now the reason I'm bringing it up is because in this game against the 76ers I'm using player lock to limit myself only to playing the shooting guard. In practice, this is actually how I play now when I have the urge to play MyCareer. Most of the issues I have in MyCareer can be fixed by doing this. Let's just go through the list. First off, this way you can make your own storyline again. No more unskippable cutscenes, or the game mode deciding you're going to miss free throws, or that your team goes down by 40 points when you're subbed out. You get to decide the minutes, and there are no more issues with the coach having tired legs on the floor for extended periods of time, or not taking out players when they are getting foul trouble. You can set the points of emphasis and don't have to worry about your teammates leaving their man wide open on the 3-point line. And plays actually work in this mode. You even get to customize the playbook and set what play types will be called for each player. You can also change the team offense from motion to freelance, which means even when the plays don't work out, the team won't just stand there or always try to isolate. What the game still lacks though is the ability for the AI players to call picks. This way you also get to control how much of the season you play, and of course change the roster to your liking, which can be somewhat of an issue in MyCareer as teams often don't have the right amount of big men on their roster, for example. Just look at all these floppy plays our team is calling to get Aflalo open. Getting these to work would be unheard of in MyCareer. Granted, you can't create a player from the scratch for MyGM, but what you could do is take one of the players in the EuroLeague teams, put them on the roster you want and edit them to your liking. Getting into this game we were starting Bryant and Bryant, meaning the Rookie of the Year last season had to face the future Hall of Famer Kobe. The matchup wasn't working for us in the first half, but in the third quarter Jeffrey Bryant was starting to gain some momentum. On this play, Randolph was for some reason spotting up on the 3-point line where he really isn't a threat. Vucevic grabs the board. Jeffrey shows Kobe why he's on his way up with this monster dunk. Running a play for Harris. He finds Jeffrey in the corner who gets Kobe there and makes this tough finish with an ice cream scoop layup. Blotch misses a tough finish and we start to break the other way. Noticing he was left wide open, Bryant cuts to the basket for a spectacular alley-oop finish. Third quarter running down, Blatch gets an opening, but Aflalo swats it away. Wise misses a tough contested jumper. Vucevic gets the board and we are out. Harkless passes to Bryant who dunks it down. Burke with the ball. Sees Jeffrey wide open in the corner, who sinks the three-point shot. Bryant versus Bryant. And the fadeaway drops. Kobe got out of control in the fourth quarter. It didn't help that we were screwing up our assignments and left him unguarded for this wide open look. The lead we had built was shrinking to make this a dangerously close game. The AI was pressing and we were rewarded with free throws in this play. Kobe and Jeffrey were going at each other for the whole fourth quarter, both being instrumental for their teams as Jeffrey finishes this layup just in time. The rest of the team was missing shots and Jeffrey had to take charge. Kobe was on fire as well. Even fadeaway spin jumpers seemed to come easy for him. With AI pressing again, we run the floor with Jeffrey. But unfortunately he gets blocked on this layup attempt. Kobe finds Wise, who makes us pay with this dunk. With our defenders switched, Burke is not tall enough to contest Wise's three-point jumper. It's a 4-point game. Burke loses Michael Carter-Williams and sinks his jumper. You know Kobe's gotta have it in this situation. He crosses Jeffrey and gets to the line. Isolating with Jeffrey when Kobe gets caught trying to steal the ball. We can't make the defense pay, but Randolph gets the board, and they foul to extend the game. Jeffrey makes them both, and it's a 6-point game. Kobe comes down the court and immediately tries for a quick three. Can't hit it, and we get more free throws. It's not over for Kobe, who robs Jeffrey and goes the other way, but still can't make a shot. Thanks for watching. Like this, favorite it, do what you gotta do, and I'll see you next time.